Okay, we're live. What's going on? How you doing, everybody? It's Bruce here with Traveling with Bruce. Happy Easter. Yeah, Good Friday. What can I tell you? It's March the 30th, 2018, 5 o'clock Eastern time. Here I am out of Creston, BC, and what a day we are having here today. Gorgeous sunshine, just beautiful. I'm just so happy to report this. We're about 54, 55 degrees today. Absolutely wonderful. Spring is definitely in the air around here. Birds are singing all over the place. Dogs are yapping all over the place. What are you going to do? But, I'll take this instead of a blizzard because, where I used to live in Calgary, it's terrible. It's just miserable there. It's freezing. It's in the 20s. Snow. It's just they just can't get a break. We're here. We're getting great weather. I'm sure in Seattle and Vancouver and Spokane, all around me, and Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. It's great. Tomorrow, I'm heading to Costco with Mrs. Traveling with Bruce, Jennifer, as we call her. Miss Jen and I are going to hit the road and get to Costco from here. And there's a hot dog with her name on it. I know that. And there's a chicken bake waiting for me with my name on it. I know that. The question is, will there be enough? Is there enough room left over for maybe can we squeeze in a sundae, one of those very berry sundaes? They're so delicious. Oh, they're just so darn good. And how can you resist something like that? I mean, it would be an insult to Costco not to have it. I mean, geez, they go to all that effort to make it every day. I feel terrible coming all the way from Canada not having that treat. But I am going to buy some Costco ice cream. That's for darn sure. Although I did type in here on my little message board to everybody, what should I get tomorrow at Costco? What should I pick up? You got any suggestions down there, you Costcoites? Are there any favorites you think I'm missing that I should be checking out? Well, let me know because I'll be going up and down the aisles. And if anyone's in Coeur d'Alene Costco, come by, say hi. Check me out. I hope you had a good night. We had some fun last night with, I did 2 shows yesterday, as you know, sat on Thursdays and Tuesdays. I do 2 shows. We did the trivia last night, and we had some doozies there. It took a while to get one of those categories figured out, but we had some fun. And the old channel just humming right along. We were at 1,494 subscribers for kind of most of the day yesterday. Kind of got to 1,497, 1,498. And then this morning I woke up and we're at 1,499, and I was thinking, wow, gee, I'm surprised that no one is taking the shot at 1,500. But a couple hours later, 1,498, and then an hour later, 1,497, and I'm going, I wonder what's going on. And so I started to speculate maybe some of my existing subscribers were desubscribing so they could resubscribe as 1,500. They're going to play that game. But for a long time, 1,497, then again went to 1,498 again. And then it went to 1,499, and it stayed there for an hour. I thought, well, if anyone's playing the 1,500 subscriber game, they're not very good at it because this is the moment, And eventually it hit 1,500. Right now, 1,502. So we're up and over 1,500 and moving forward yet again. And thank you for all of you, all 1,502 of you who are subscribers. And then for the countless thousands above that, I don't know how many thousands more who catch the show once in a while or catch my channel once in a while. I know that just a tonny out there are at least 3/4 of my views are from non-subscribers. So there's a tonny out there who could become subscribers. Would love to have you on board, but take your time. I'll be here for a while yet, but I'd love to have you subscriber. If you want to subscribe, there's a button there. There's a button there. And I think this one here has the bell notification icon sitting beside it. It looks like a little bell. You click on that, you'll get a notification every time I do an email, a live stream or a video, I upload a video. You'll get an email saying, Bruce has got another one going, and you can catch up with me on what I'm up to. So thanks for everybody for tuning in. Another thing I noticed today, I think we're approaching 199,000 views for total views on the channel. I think later today or overnight tonight we'll hit 200,000. So there's another milestone number to be hit. I remember when I had 10,000 views, that was a big day. That was October. I hit 10,000 views, and that made me a monetized channel under the old YouTube rules. But those rules have changed, as we all know. If you're a regular of mine, you know this story. If you're not a regular, we got notified on January the 17th that it's all over. No more monetization for anyone with just 10,000 views or more. Now there are two criteria. You have to have 1,000 subscribers, and you have to have at least 4,000 hours of watch time, which eliminated these, part-timers and, anyone that had done maybe YouTube for 4 or 5 months and 2 years ago, and they got to 15,000 subscribers, and then they've only posted a video every couple of months, and maybe they had one video that caught a bit of a wave, and they got a little residual check from YouTube, and the pennies were sort of piling up, and every once in a while they'd get a check from them. YouTube has kind of eliminated all that. They've gotten rid of all the pretenders and all the little guys who are really not here for monetization anyway. I think I'm going to say 12 million channels down to like 2 million channels with this one move. But also what's happened is those of us, and me, I'll include in that, who are wanting to be and are full-time YouTubers. Since last August, I'm full-time doing this. Just as I reached my numbers, I reached 1,000 subscribers on February the 20th, hit 4,000 hours back in January. Right now, I like I say, 1,500 subscribers. I think I've got something like 20,000 hours of watch time, or no, 15,000 hours of watch time, just a ton. So that's a bona fide channel, and I'm getting nothing for it. It's been now 5 weeks and 4 days that I've been demonetized. I'm under review because we did hit 1,000 subscribers by Feb 20, which is a month after they changed the rules to say we'll give you a month to make the new limits, the new numbers, and then we'll then classify you as a monetized or under review channel. I made the cut, but I'm still waiting. 5 weeks, I haven't got the green light to get back into monetization. I'm supposed to just sit and wait it out, and so that's what's happening. So anyway, through the generosity of you guys, I'm still alive. I still get contributions through Patreon. I get the odd contribution through Super Chat, which is the tip jar that you see here, and then I also get contributions through my PayPal account, which is a logo you'll see on my homepage, and if you hover your mouse over it, a little sign will pop up that says donate, and you can throw the channel a couple of bucks if you like and help me stay on the air. I appreciate it. Anyway, that's the story about the channel. It's growing well, and I thank everyone for participating. Those of you who are brand new, I live in Creston, British Columbia, 3 miles north of the Idaho border. I love talking about cruise ship vacations. Love talking about going on a trip, traveling and as a whole. Comparing notes with my viewers, love Q&As with my viewers, and if you're a new cruiser, if you're a newbie, you've never been on a cruise before, you have come to the right channel. You've hit a home run. You've come to the right channel. This is the channel for brand new cruisers for sure, because you'll learn more on a couple of my videos than you'll learn on 10 other videos that are out there. I do live streams 6 days a week. I'm on Monday to Friday, 5 o'clock Eastern time, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I've been throwing in an extra show at 8 o'clock Eastern. Saturdays at 2 p.m., I'm on the air, and we talk about cruise deals, cruise promotions, new ships that are coming out, new policies. We talk about drink packages. We talk about specialty dining. We talk about onshore excursion ideas. We talk about what can you pack on a cruise, what can't you pack, what shouldn't you bother bringing, but what you should bring, stuff you just wouldn't normally think about. We talk about what happens if you get stranded and you're in Jamaica and you're on an onshore excursion coming back to the ship, and the taxi you're in breaks down. You miss your ship, it takes off, and you're in Jamaica. What do you do now? We talk about stuff like that, and we talk about emergency alerts from the U.S. State Department. If anything crazy is happening out there, we talk about it all. So if you're a newbie and you want to know about some information, you have a question about a cruise or ideas or something, just fire away. Tell us. Let me know. Say hi to me. A lot of my regulars are typing in right now where they're located, what their high temperature is today, and they're here to assist me in helping you with any questions you might have if you're a new cruiser. If you haven't cruised for 10, 15 years, oh, things have changed big time, and they're changing right now. And the next 5 years, there's a whole bunch of new stuff coming up. So this is the channel for regular cruisers who love cruising, because this is what we love to talk about, and also newbies. You've all come to the right place. So welcome, everyone. Welcome all. Let's find out the messages, because I like to say hi to all my folks here who are signing in. And let's see who's here. And if there's any comments or any questions, we'll get right to them. And let's see what's going on. Pamela Jordan signed in first at 4:32 Eastern. didn't set a new record with that. There's someone who's signed in before that even, because I post the notice of this show usually about 3-4 hours ahead of time to kind of give everyone a heads up with that bell notification icon. You get a notification early that Bruce is going to live today. Well, she signed in and said, "Hi, Bruce, sunny and 72 here in Iva, South Carolina." And that's been a nice improvement in the last week, because last week I think she was in the 40s. Pamela Jordan is here. Hi, everybody. Charles Jordan is also here. Good afternoon, Bruce. And then Stargazer's here. How you doing, Stargazer? Hi, Pamela and everyone. 51 in Kentucky. Welcome, Stargazer. Charles Jordan's here. He's saying as well, hello, Stargazer. Teresa McFarland, don't think Bruce was doing a show today. I didn't think he was doing a show today. I'm glad he is. Yeah, I'm doing a show today and tomorrow. Desi Wagner, good afternoon all. Peter Heckema is here. Hi, Bruce. 83 degrees again in Tarpon Springs, Florida. Happy Easter to you and Jennifer, the mystery wife, Mrs. Traveling with Bruce. She's just over there, and she will show her face, but it will cost you. Dollars have to flow through the super chat or through PayPal for this to happen. Let me tell you. Have a great trip to Costco tomorrow. think of us while you're munching on that hot dog. Well, she'll be doing the dog. I'll be doing the chicken bake, and I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. Let's see here. Cam Wilson's here. Hi, everybody. Hey, Cam, how you doing, buddy? Welcome back. Laughing out loud, he's saying 2 Polish hot dogs. He's saying you got to get that. Iskew Park is here. Hi, Bruce. It's Iskew in Thunder Bay, Ontario. +2 Celsius and sunny here. Hello, everybody. Scott Batchley is also here. Hi, Bruce and everyone. Nice again in Ventura. 60 and sunny. Not bad at all. It was a bit warmer yesterday, I think, but well, 60 it is. Cam Wilson, chicken bake, getting fancy, are we? I always have a chicken. I'm consistent. I've always had it's the missus that has the hot dog. Oh yeah. Sea Lid is here. Seakeeper is here. We reached 82 Fahrenheit in Tequista, Florida. I love Costco's lamb chops. Can you bring back meat to British Columbia? I generally don't bring back fresh cuts of meat to British Columbia from Costco, but we do bring back frozen. Like I'll bring back love bringing back the chicken tenders. They have some really nice brands down there. But fresh cuts, not often. I might bring back some bratwursts, that type of thing. But around here, we have sales all the time. You just have to keep an eye on the flyers. And instead of buying, a big, mega, 10-pound hamburger big platter of hamburger, we will buy it here, 3 pounds, 5 pounds at a time. It's just the two of us. Don't have to feed 15 folks, so it works out just fine. Silo, 54 degrees today for the high, 47 for the low, partly cloudy in Seattle. 211 days to go to the Bliss out of Seattle. Just booked our room at the Hotel Maya, pre-cruise day, cool property. Hey, Bruce, free samples at Costco, but be leery. That's true. They do have those samples. There's no question about that. Wendy Thompson, 64. There was a round yellow thing in the sky all day. No rain. My yard is green, and we sold our woods today, closer to our move to Florida and driving to the port. Okay, so Wendy's moving, and she's heading to Florida, and she's getting close to those seaports, and we know what she's going to be doing. Fantastic, Wendy. This is great. It's getting exciting for you. Jim Thomas, hey, guys. Good afternoon. How you doing, Jim? Debbie Manuel is here. A bit late today. Sunshine and going to be 80 again here in Chico, California. That's going to be great. Hope everyone is doing well. Nice weather. That's going to be nice. John, 46, 2005. There's a handle. Hi, Bruce. New, live, watched you for some time, have to work 5 to 8, now on a week's vacation, college break. I live in Potsdam, New York, just 15 miles from Cornwall, Ontario, Canada. Welcome, John, 46, 2005. Fantastic. Great to have you here, and I'm glad you've been watching. The beauty of the channel is you can watch me live or on replays, and catch up with what we're up to and what we're doing. So yeah, fantastic. Good thing you're here. Welcome back. Silo, bring a flashlight always. Yes, that's true safety tip for you new cruisers. Going on your first ever cruise, bring a flashlight because if the power goes off and you're in an inside room, you're in the dark. You's in the dark, and so you need a flashlight to get around. Absolutely. Peter Heckema, I am still the sign-in record holder. Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Peter. You signed in the earliest yesterday. I think it's about a 45-minute lead, 45 minutes before airtime. So your record is safe for at least another day. So we'll see what happens tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern. If someone signs in at 1:15 Eastern or sooner, then your record's in jeopardy. We'll see what happens. Teresa McFarland, 4 degrees Celsius in Waterloo today. That's going to be about 38 degrees. Nothing wrong with that. And that means meltage, big time snow meltage going on. That's great. Norman Duarte, hello all. Hey, Norman. Sylvia's here, 74, partly cloudy, nice in Greensboro, North Carolina. How you doing? Hi, Sylvia. Nice to see you. HQ Park, Costco, we love the super boxes of cinnamon, brown sugar pop tops. Yeah, that's a little couple calories in one of those, but yeah, I'm a sucker too though for a cinnamon. They have those cinnamon buns in those boxes that there's like 12 of them in a box. They're baked. They're not baked in the store. They're baked out by somebody else, and I want to use the term Cinnabon, but I don't know if that's truly accurate. But boy, you get this big box of these cinnamon buns, and they're just delicious. You grab 1 or 2 of them and put them on a plate, pop them in the microwave for like 20, 30, 40 seconds, and the icing on them just melts into the ring. Oh, that's so good. I can't wait to go to Costco tomorrow. Let me tell you. Oh man, that's just good stuff. You can see some evidence of it on my body here of cinnamon and ice cream. I mean, I'm not a skinny guy, Got to get through the winter, folks. It's cold out there. Desi Wagner's here. Can everyone on the 80s send some warmth? Okay, I get it. Can anyone with 80-degree temperatures help her out and send some of that warmth up to the Midwest? Because it's not happening in the Midwest. There's this. I know what's happening. This Arctic vortex is just east of me. It's on the other side of the Rockies, and it's drooping down to the middle to Middle America. And yeah, it's cool. It's not pleasant right now in a lot of spots in the U.S. But some of us have caught a bit of spring weather, and we're trying to hang on to it. Wendy Thompson, me and hubby are ready to move as quick as we can. Getting ready, lightening the load, unloading stuff right now. Way to go. Iskew Park non-surge protected power bar is a must. There you go. Yeah, if you're going on a cruise and you've got a bunch of electronic goodies with you, you get your cell phone, your maybe a nice camera, you got a laptop, you got your tablet, all these electronics, your hair dryer or your whatever. Bring a power bar with you so you can plug in all your toys and charge them all up overnight so the next day you're good to go. Some of these cruise ships, the newer ones, they have lots of extra plugs installed in rooms now. They figured it out. They've heard it. They know. But the ships that were built, 5, 10, 15, and 20 years ago, these older ships, they had like one plug in the bedroom area, and they had like one plug in the bathroom area. And that was that. Not now. So you bring in your surge protector with your 6 plugs, and you got your little station there. Plug everything in. You're good to go. Michelle Lucas, today is our travel day in California. Tomorrow, Florida. Sunday, get on the ship. That's right. It's exciting. Oh, I just love these days when you're just that close and everybody's getting. Oh, the heart rate's up. The whole body is ready. You're just jazzed. You're ready to go, and the big trip is on. You know at the end of the trip what you're in store for. Yeah, you're on a big old cruise ship with all those amenities, and you're in that cabin, and you get unpacked, get everything put away, and now just relax and enjoy the whole experience. And no laundry, no dishes, no cleaning up to really worry about, and no cooking to do for however long you're going to be on. And if it's a back-to-back and another back-to-back, oh, it's good stuff. That's fantastic. Yep, Iskew Park meant Pop-Tarts. Yeah, cinnamon-covered Pop-Tarts. Oh, my goodness. Debbie Emanuel, travel safe, Michelle and Randy, and tell us all about your adventure when you return. Yes, I want to hear about this. Or if you can contact us while you're away, you can always write me a message on any one of my videos, obviously, and just touch base with me. But if you catch me on a live, you catch me on a live. Fantastic. Seakeeper Desi, come on down. I tried to mail sunshine to Canada, but customs blocked my shipment. Yeah, Canada, Canada, we just don't want that warm stuff. We would rather keep the cold air to ourselves. We're crazy Canucks, what can I say? Iskew Park, make sure it's not surge protected. They will take it away and give it back after the cruise. Well, there you go. Make sure it's not surge protected. Very interesting. Very interesting. Today, I was thinking of a topic to kind of throw at you guys, and I was reading up some news this morning, and I got this headline, and I read it, and I kind of passed it, and I thought, well, let's read that again, and I read it again, and then I read the article, and I thought it was kind of interesting. It's a unique thing. It basically says pickleball is coming to a cruise ship near you, and a lot of folks out there are wondering what the heck's pickleball. If you're under 55, you probably don't have much to do with it. If you're under 35, you might have heard the term, but you may already know what the game is. And if you're in the teens, you couldn't care less, because if it isn't electronic, why would you bother? I'm just overgeneralizing here, but pickleball is a game that kind of came onto the scene in the last 20 some odd years. Started actually in Washington State is where the game picked up, and it's played with a paddle. Looks like a long elongated ping pong paddle and a ball that's got holes in it, and you play this game with a net. It's kind of like a miniature tennis court type of thing, and it is taking over retirement communities, especially in Phoenix, Arizona. Pickleball is a big deal. It is a huge deal. And if you're visiting a friend of yours that has a condo or a house in a gated community down in the Phoenix area, any of those boroughs, Glendale, Scottsdale, Mesa, you name it, and even outside of Phoenix, all around it, if you're near the clubhouse, usually these communities will have a clubhouse with a swimming pool, and for all the community to use, you will hear the unmistakable sound of pickleballs hitting the paddles. You hear this unmistakable sound that a pickleball makes when it hits the paddle. And in some of these communities, they'll have 16 courts, 20 courts going at the same time, and you'll have singles and doubles play going on, and it's unbelievable. The sound is just the specific tinging sound that this pickleball makes. It's quite a popular game. And it's really picking up in popularity overall across all of the U.S. with a certain baby boomer generation aged crowd. That's the best way I can say it. For folks who are not able to play tennis anymore and just haven't got the stamina and the flexibility in their bodies to play badminton anymore, pickleball is a popular game. Quite interesting. Holland America and Princess Cruises and Regent Cruises have already installed pickleball courts on a number of their ships, and the future is that all cruise ships will have pickleball. I bet you within the next 1 or 2 years, won't be long, that every cruise line will have it, because if they cater to any cruisers that are 50 and older, and generally they do, they're going to have pickleball. They're just going to have it. And I would not be surprised if the cruise directors will be coordinating pickleball tournaments on board cruise ships in a much more aggressive way. It'll become quite known and heavily promoted, and it'll be used as a selling tool to get people who have not cruised before. I mean, there are a lot of 55, 65-year-olds who've never been on a cruise. Got to entice these folks. Well, maybe the game of pickleball on board a cruise ship will do it, and they just need some netting around it to keep the ball on board in effect. But yeah, this is an area that's really shifting over. The good news for the cruise lines is to install pickleball courts on board the ship, or to modify the existing basketball court, or if you have a bit of a tennis court already, to modify that for pickleball. Piece of cake. Easy. You can fit in maybe 2 or 3 courts in the space of a tennis type court. So you could have 6 players or maybe 12 players playing at the same time. And it's cheap. It's really cheap. The cruise line does not need to invest in high-end electronics, like if they were going to install a laser tag center, that kind of thing. They don't have to rewire the ship. They don't have to worry about all kinds of other, massive renovations to a cruise ship to add pickleball to the itinerary. So it's a win for the cruise lines, absolute win, and it's a popular deal. So yeah, it's a great way to, for some folks, get some exercise who would not normally get it, and might be a great marketing tool for the cruise lines to utilize to scoop new newbies that are a bit older to the cruise business. Because once you get them, we know what happens. Once you start cruising, you get addicted. You're done for. Let's see here, Dylan Rue. Do any cruise ships allow you to bring your pet cat? Not that I know of, Dylan. I don't know of anyone that lets you bring a cat. Although I will say, when people were being evacuated from the islands last fall, from the hurricane mess that was being left behind, people were being evacuated from St. Thomas, from Saint Martin, and also San Juan. They were allowed to bring pets on board. They had a number of folks brought their pet dogs with them on a leash. But yep, the cruise line had set up a doggy area up top, probably where the kids would normally shoot basketball hoops in that netted courtyard. They probably converted that to a pet area, and had water up there, and cleaned it up regularly, that kind of thing. So. But generally on cruises, no pets on cruises. No. Excuse saying no candles either. They take those away. Don't bring candles. No. Tommy Eaton, currently wet and 72 in Jacksonville, Florida. Welcome, Tommy. Iskew Park. I've never seen a pet on a ship other than a blind person's guide dog. Yeah, maybe that's one way to go. A seakeeper pickleball is a good way to break a sweat. I have to say, nay. If it makes you, I'm not doing it. If it makes you break a sweat, he's saying not a chance. Michelle, Lucas, Debbie, we'll try to catch Brucey, Buddy, and all y'all sail away and at ports. There you go. That'll be great. Iskew Park, if you have kids or younger teens with you, bring those cheap 2-way mini radios for everyone to call in case you don't want to use ship internet or phone services. Yeah, that's always a fun thing to do. The kids can play hide and seek and all that stuff on the ship. SQ Park, walkie-talkies, I guess they're called. Yep. Debbie, Manuel, Michelle, this is awesome. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Nina, Frank, hi, Bruce, and all. Yay, walkie-talkies, perfect. Instead of phones, don't know, though, maybe they interfere with navigation. I'm not sure, depending on the band that they're on. Welcome, Nina. I know you're from Sweden. You're back, and welcome to the chat. Welcome to the channel. A bit of news that I caught up with today. This is not like breaking or anything like that, but this is just news that I've come up with that I wanted to mention. As a matter of fact, we just had a comment not too long ago about going on the Bliss in Seattle. Seattle is quickly becoming a major port for cruise lines to use, but it is becoming a major seasonal port. The Alaska cruise season in particular is what Seattle is becoming, known for. Vancouver, British Columbia also has departures as well, but Vancouver can only handle ships of a certain length and only so many at a time, maybe 1 or 2, if that. Whereas Seattle, they've been adding pier space, more piers to its waterfront. Seattle is aggressively going for a lot of cruise business. They want it. And they report that typically cruise ships that depart Seattle are occupied between 104 to 106% of occupancy. And that's a classic indication that we're talking about summer cruising here with families where mom and dad and one child or 2 or 3 are hanging out in one room. And it's possible that they picked a balcony room and it's got a fold-out couch. And mom and dad have got their bed over here, and the kids are in the fold-out couch, maybe 2 of them in the queen-size unit there. If you have an extra child, depending on the cruise line, depending on the ship and the room you've got, you may have a fold-down berth from the top of the room as well, or two of them, one on each side. So you got the couch, two fold-down berths, the bed. You got six in a room. So it all depends on the family and the rules of the cruise line and so on. But 104 to 100%, 106% capacity. So if the ship can hold 3,000 people registered typically, they're right up to max. I would bet you that 150 to 200 people are in rooms, the third person or the fourth person or even the fifth person in a room. That's an indicator of how popular Seattle is for Alaska itineraries. The cruise ships that are using Seattle now run the gamut. Royal Caribbean, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Azamara, Celebrity, Princess, Holland America, Carnival, Oceania. I believe there are even others. Last year, the number of passengers that went through Seattle last year, 1,092,345 passengers. And they had 214 ships call in, or they had 214 ship visits to Seattle. Now, obviously, the Bliss will go from Seattle to Alaska and back on a weekly basis all summer long. So the Bliss will visit Seattle at least 20 times, and a number of other cruise ships will do obviously the same thing. So that's how these numbers, you get up to 214 ship visits. It's the same 10, 12, 15 ships that are coming and going. Alaska just completed the building out of a brand new wharf last summer that is capable of handling the Bliss and larger ships than the Bliss. So they're thinking ahead. They're going much further ahead than this season or next season. They're thinking 5 and 10 years from now. They want to accommodate. If there are going to be 5,000 and 6,000 passenger ships or larger coming, Seattle has the pier on hand to handle it. Seattle, of course, can easily handle the logistics as far as resupplying the cruise ship every week for its food needs, beverages, all the supplies it needs. The linen servicing is all there. The cruise lines have staff in Seattle working full time all summer long to handle the coming and goings of these cruise ships on a weekly basis. Quite an amazing business being built there, and Seattle has really gone after it in a big way. Vancouver, like I said, has maybe, I'm not sure if they have even 15% of that traffic, if they have maybe 150,000 visitors themselves. I don't know how much Vancouver actually does because it rarely pops up on my news feeds for news. Vancouver just, it's the problem with Vancouver, apart from space, cost. Even though it's in Canada, the Canadian dollar is so much cheaper. But the taxation in British Columbia is so onerous that, and the environmental restrictions are so onerous in Vancouver's harbor. A lot of cruise lines, they just go where business is easier to do. And another factor is airfare. It's much more expensive to fly in and out of Vancouver from the international airport there than the Seattle International Airport. There you go, SeaTac. Canadians from Vancouver actually drive across the U.S. border to SeaTac to take flights, and even parking their car for a week or two in Seattle to pay for that, they're still saving money on their airfare. It's unbelievable, the difference. The taxation fees that we pay in Canada are just onerous. They're very, very high in certain segments, and travel is one of them. So cruise lines, they know we can get passengers in and out of SeaTac, no problem, worldwide. And the airport, the Seattle airport, is as economical as Miami or as say LAX or San Diego. And so why would we force passengers to fly into Vancouver, where the landing fees per passenger are much higher, security fees are higher, and departure costs? That just kills cruises. I mean, cruise lines have to think not only about what we charge passengers once you're on the ship, for the cabin, and then for the tipping and for your drink package and your meals. We also have to think about the costs for people to get to the cruise. And my friend in Thunder Bay can attest to this. You might be in Thunder Bay, Ontario, and you see a great cruise deal for the Caribbean right now. You can't get to it. It's just unaffordable, because to get a flight out of Thunder Bay, Ontario, You're talking about one of the two Canadian carriers, and you're going to pay dearly because they got you. They got you. You can't drive there because it's in the middle of winter, and you're not going to drive in that area. Now with Vancouver, it's a very mild temperate climate, but there's only so many folks in Vancouver that are going to take cruises. The city might have a gross population of 2.5, 3 million people, but folks who want to cruise to Alaska, global. We have Europeans flying in to Seattle to take an Alaska cruise and perhaps spend a week before or after the cruise, either in Alaska itself or in the Seattle area, or rent a car and drive all the way down the coast and back down to Los Angeles, perhaps. There's a lot of Europeans that plot strategy to have an Alaska cruise built in to an all-inclusive 3-4 week summer holiday that might include a little bit of Canada, but probably will include a lot of the USA. So cruise lines are thinking ahead. They're thinking that far out. They're thinking that far away from their ships about, well, yeah, it's nice that we have ships in Vancouver, but the problem with getting in and out of there, these doneros are it's brutal. And if it's going to cost an extra $500 a person to get in and out of Vancouver on an average basis rather than Seattle, the answer is simple. We have, on the case of the Bliss, what is it, 4+ thousand people a week that have to fill that ship. $500 a person, even $100 a person more to get them on the Bliss. Better base that ship out of Seattle. Better base it out of there. So there's a lot of considerations going on with regards to the logistics. So Seattle is hitting a home run here, growing, and they want to grow even more. They are not happy with just 1.09 million. I think they'd like to go to 1.5. And if they can convince more cruise lines to use Seattle as a port, they'll be winners. They feel that they win because people come to Seattle, spend a couple of days, spend several days in Seattle. And that's the hotel game, and that's the restaurant game, and the entertainment centers, and all those Starbucks. I mean, come on, you know how many Starbucks are in Seattle? I mean, they got a lot of coffee to sell. So we need these million folks to come in before and after the cruise to have a nice cappuccino and a latte or an Americano or whatever it is we're servicing here. Let's go. Absolutely. What do we got here? Just check any more messages. We're up to speed. Everyone's up to speed here. We're good. Another piece of news that I read about today. Again, this is not brand new, but this was an observation from yours truly. I was reading up on Virgin Voyages. I am fascinated by Virgin Voyages. I think that the team that Richard Branson and his partners have put together have really come up with something kind of interesting here. As you folks who are regulars of mine know, but again, if you're not a regular, let me tell you, the cruise businesses, the cruise lines are known for certain features for each line. I get questions all the time from people who are new to cruising asking me, what's the best cruise line for me to go on for my first cruise with my husband or my wife? There's 4 of us. There's 2 couples, and we're thinking of going on a cruise. What will be the best line to go on? And my first question is, how old are you? Because once I know how old you are, I have a shot at helping you out, because it isn't a simple answer. It is a very complex thing to figure out. It's as complex as you going to Disney World? Yeah, you can take Grandma and Grandpa to Disney World. You bet. But you're not going to put Grandma and Grandpa on certain rides. And Grandma and Grandpa can walk for a while, but not 8-12 hours a day like the kids can. And so there's the complexity of, if Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, and the kids are all going to Disney World, what are we going to do in Disney World that makes everybody happy and keeps everybody comfortable? Well, on a cruise ship, same thing. You've got cruise lines that are specifically designed for certain demographic groups on average. And if you stick a 55-year-old couple or a 65-year-old couple on a certain brand, chances are everything's going to work out. If you put them on the wrong brand, it might not work. And so Virgin Voyages has come up with their marketing plan, which I'm sure they've been working on for 5 or 6 years, if not longer. And they're only now building out their ships to fit the marketing plan. And Virgin Voyages will not allow anyone under 18 on board their ships. No kids. They've given up. They've totally given away the children's market. Disney, it's yours. Carnival, you can have them. Royal Caribbean with all those adventure rides and the water slides and all that. Those kids are for you. And you'll get the families, you'll get the mom and dads, and yep, you'll also get multi-generational cruising where grandma and grandpa take the grandkids. You'll get that. They'll go on Royal Caribbean with those kids and they'll have a ball. Virgin Voyages has decided to take another tack. And the tack is they're saying 18 and older, but they're also saying, without saying it, if you're over 60, if you're over 50, you might not be happy here either. What we're really after, we're after 25 to 50-year-olds. We're looking for the young couple that haven't got kids yet. We're looking for the mom and dad that do have kids, want to get away from the kids. And we're looking for the empty nesters who just got rid of the kids, college or whatever, finally got those kids out of the house or out of my hair, or they're old enough to feed themselves. They're looking for passengers, which they're calling sailors. They're looking for sailors to go on their ships because they're going to be activity driven. It's going to be an active, activity-filled cruise. Unlike the Viking cruise line, where 18 and older, before you can get on that line for Viking Ocean Cruises. The reality is, though, the average age of a Viking Ocean Cruise ship passenger is 65. And I'm a 62-year-old. I know I'd really like Viking. I'm pretty darn sure I'd really like Viking. But something also tells me I might enjoy Virgin Voyager as well. It might be an interesting little twist, a little change of pace. I may not be involved in all the activities, but I might be involved in some. But Virgin Voyages is absolutely targeting 25 to 50-year-olds. They're thinking of the New York-based couple that are college graduates. They've been working now for about 7-8 years. They're approaching 30, 35 now. They are going to start a family in the next few years, but not quite yet. And they have been taking vacations already in all-inclusive resorts in the Bahamas or in Barbados, or they've gone down to Dominica or Dominican Republic. Maybe they've been to Mexico. And when they're on the water, they've gone in the parachute ride, behind the powerboat. They've rented the jet skis. They've done the water skiing. They've done the scuba diving or the snorkeling. They've done all that, but they've not taken a cruise because the attitude has been, we're not going on a Disney cruise. There's no way. We're 28 years old. We're each making combined. We're making $400,000 a year in downtown Manhattan. We're not going to be in a Disney ship. Are you kidding me? We're not going to be on a Viking ocean liner with the 65-year-olds. That's you got not a chance. We want to relax a little, but we also want to party. We want to dance, and we have a good time and enjoy ourselves. And if we're going with another couple, we really want some fun. They may not be interested in the Norwegian line. It might not appeal to them at age 28, 32, 44. It just might not work for them. But with Virgin Voyages, that just might suit the ticket because Richard Branson has the image of an action-packed guy. He was, loves to have fun. Is always hanging around with the younger crowd. He's still a kid at heart, as you can imagine. And those cruises are going to be targeted to that age group for action, for a lot of adventure. And I can see where they'll come into port in somewhere in the Bahamas. They'll go to a private cay of some kind, and there will be scuba gear waiting for everybody and snorkel gear, and the jet skis are here, and away we go. And it's all day, enjoy yourselves, and then back on the ship and eat. And the music is starting up in the club, and the piano bar is going over here, and the entertainment is going over there, and there's just this stuff happening all over the place, and it's not a quiet ship. It is not a very calm, relaxing, retiring kind of atmosphere where by 9 o'clock crickets can be heard on all decks. No, not on this ship. I won't call it a booze cruise either. I won't say that because I don't think the college crowd, they'll go if they can afford it. Let's put it that way. I can see college kids going on a Virgin Voyages cruise, but mom and dad are probably going to have to cough up some bucks to help them get on that ship because I don't think it's going to be a discounted, cheap line at all. I think it's going to be a premium price with premium upgraded amenities and events. And I think it's going to be a first-class place with a lot going on. And those folks who are making some coin are going to feel comfortable spending it because they're going to get value. They're going to get the value they want and the action they crave for their 1 week vacation. Now, the first ship being built right now will be based out of Miami. They will have it in service as early as 2020, so about 2 years from now. They're looking to run it. 2,800 passengers is the estimated capacity of the ship. So it's not a 6,000 passenger mega ship like a Royal Caribbean, but it's 2,800 passengers, approximately 1,150 crew. So you'll have about 4,000 overall people on board that unit. 7-day Caribbean cruises. 3 ships being built by the same ship manufacturer. That's Fincantieri in Italy. I think it's Fincantieri in Italy. They just finished the Horizon for Carnival, and now they're building. They've been contracted to build 3. First one, the keel has already been laid. It's under construction, and it'll be interesting to see as the videos come out in the next few months. I'm sure they'll show us progression, how the ship is coming along. The company also was gauging interest. They wanted to gauge interest, and they did a beautiful, smart marketing move. They went online, they went to the social media, and for a $500 deposit, you could get your name in for a guaranteed stateroom on this ship for its first sailing season. Sold out. They've already pulled that deal. They've already pulled it. They don't need any more reservations. They already know tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of reservations already paid for with a $500 deposit. No dates, no pictures, no firm committed what time the ship's going to be there. People have just put $500 down for a slot on that ship, for a spot on that ship. It's going to be wildly successful, I'm sure. Now, cross our fingers. Let's hope the engineering works out. Let's hope that they don't have issues like MSC Seaside. I mean, any ship can run into this. But the Virgin Voyages, I think, will be a very successful line. And I have a feeling that they can't wait for the second and third ship to come fast enough after the first one. I could imagine that first ship will be booked right to here, right off the bat. And by the time the second and third ship come in, they'll already have them sold out. I'm sure it'll be that popular because it's millennials. They're after the millennials and the generation behind them. And you can bet diamonds to donuts, dollars to donuts, whatever expression you like to use. I sometimes just make them up. Wi-Fi everywhere. These ships will be completely Wi-Fi'd. There is no question that every passenger on that ship will want to be connected to the outside world without even thinking about it. Those ships will be so modern on the new stuff. There'll be no question about the outside social media world being involved and being appraised of what's going on every second of the day and night. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this comes along. This is kind of the next wave, a future wave that's coming at us about 2 years from now. Kind of looking forward to see how this comes together. Love to see what if you have any comments on it yourselves or any comments on it, let me know. Cam Wilson on Carnival Horizon. Cam Wilson, the Virgin ship. Silo saying, gotta go, sister-in-law coming over, need to make a picture of painkillers. My cruise ship drink of choice. Yum, have fun at Costco Bio. Thanks, Silo, so much. Yeah, this Virgin Voyages cruise line will be most interesting. Now, on the other side, we've heard about the Ritz-Carlton We've heard about them talking about they're building a ship right now. It's under construction as well. I think it's 700 feet long, not as big as the Virgin ships are going to be, and not as many passengers, but a far higher class dining experience and entertainment. But it's not going to be the same action-packed, thrill-seeking cruise line. Not at all. I mean, it's going to be much more sedate. They're targeting a guy like me with more money. A lot more money. So that will be an interesting line to watch as well as it comes forward and comes together. Desi Wagner, the Virgin ship sounds like a perfect cruise. Again, it depends on your age. Exactly. If you're in that, like I say, if you're in that 25 and up category, I am going to predict a lot of college kids are going to get a graduation present from mom and dad. And it's going to entail a cruise on this kind of a vessel. I can see that where they can go on a cruise line that is just targeting their overall demographic from like 25 to 50 for sure. People seeking more than just a Caribbean getaway with peace and quiet. This is far from peace and quiet. I don't expect it to be a booze cruise per se. Because I think the drinks will be pricey, and these are week-long cruises, and you really don't want to have a hangover if you're going to go on this in scuba gear tomorrow morning. I think you're going to want to be in your best, in your best shape. But I can see jogging tracks on the top will be protected from the wind. I can see onshore activities like motorcycle rentals. I can see onshore bicycle rentals. And I mean performance bicycle. I mean really, putting on some miles. Chartering fishing boat charters will be coordinated, no problem at all. You want action, you want variety, you want more than just a relaxed, casual gain 5 pound cruise. This is not a gain 5 pound cruise. I don't think so. I think this is a cruise where you're going to be just as heavy or light as you were when you got on in the first place, because of all the affairs, all the activities and everything you can do. Whereas on a Viking cruise, for me, it's an excuse to graze. same with Norwegian and Holland America. I mean, it's my excuse to hit the buffet and eat. Whereas here, these kids are going to be seeking and looking for and being granted a whole lot of activities, visits to places like St. Bart's, St. Martin, St. Thomas will certainly be on the agenda, but there'll be a lot of shore activities for these folks to keep them occupied and keep them going. They'll sleep like logs at the end of the night, though. I'll tell you that. They'll be, when they hit the pillow, they'll be down. Desi saying, "I'll turn 50 in the year of debut." You'll be in that wheelhouse, I'm sure. Charles Jordan, 700 feet would be considered nothing more than a large yacht. Yeah, Charles, I hear you. Nowadays with the engineering, but I think Ritz-Carlton, that's kind of their size. It's going to be in that range. I think their passenger count 600, something like that, maybe 500, 600. So it'll be a high crew to passenger ratio. So we're talking butler type service, primo chef, 5-star dining from the Italy, from France, from Asia, you name it. It's just going to be across the board. I did see today something. I didn't write it down, but it's from memory. I did see today a mention. It might have been a paid advertisement, although it might have been sort of a planted thing. And then it did spur me to go to a website. It was Viking. It was about Viking. Viking Cruises is advertising for November of this year. So that's how many months from now? This is now April, coming up April, right? So we're talking about 8 months from now, 7 months from now, for November. They're advertising cruise on our Viking cruise ship in the Caribbean. It's an 8-day cruise, I believe it is, and we'll throw in the airfare. So it's free airfare with your fare, with your cruise fare. Now, I took a look on the website just to see, well, what kind of money are we talking about? The cheapest fare was $4,200. And I kind of looked at that and I thought, wait a minute, guys, just a second now. I know I was telling my viewers not a month ago, I was looking up vacations2go.com, and I was looking up Viking Cruises, and I'm sure I saw Viking Cruises around $2,250 to $2,500 and up for a balcony, because they're all balcony. The whole ship is balcony cruises. No inside rooms. Well, $2,200, $2,500. I found cruises going for that, and then into that 3,000 range. Quite a few of them. And I thought to myself, why would I pay $4,250 and get free airfare? I can get my own airfare. It's only economy. You're not flying me first class or business class. I mean, it's not like you're putting me in steerage on the airplane, and then you're putting me into a nice ship when I get there. You're not giving me that first class experience all the way, only on the ship. So airfare, I thought, well, this particular cruise that I looked at out of San Juan, strike one, like that got me going, oh no. But I'm thinking, well, geez, if you're flying in from the U.S. to San Juan, Puerto Rico, you can fly JetBlue, you can fly United, American. I know those airlines for sure fly it. I'm not sure about Southwest. I think so. But I would have to think that from probably Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, the rest of the East Coast, into Dallas, even as far west as LA, if you had to, I bet you get a round trip San Jose, San Juan, Puerto Rico flight, 500 or less. I don't think you'd have to pay more than $500 under normal circumstances with advanced booking. I'll throw in that caveat, okay? Without panic hurricane flying conditions, right? Assuming everything is calm. But next November, it's a crapshoot, isn't it? If San Juan, Puerto Rico gets just grazed by a hurricane, forget about a direct hit like the last time. Forget that. Just, some 40, 50 mile an hour winds full of water, water going sideways at 50 miles an hour. I think that would screw up so much of San Juan, Puerto Rico, and so much of Puerto Rico in general from an infrastructure point of view, because it's held together by duct tape. They need years to repair and rebuild. 6 months is not enough. Even a year is just not going to do it. I worry that if in September, October, they get hit with that kind of weather, your November cruise might be a pain to get to from an airplane point of view, from a flight point of view, because a lot of airlines cannot run their full schedules into San Juan. And if they have that kind of, those kinds of conditions coming and going for a few weeks in, say, September, October into November, they're going to be down to 50% capacity in no time. It'd just be one snap of the finger. And then another couple of storms, you're down to 25% capacity. And you're not going to get to a ship. Your flights are going to be canceled. You're going to have a difficult time to get in. You're going to have a heck of a time getting out. And when you do get in the day before, which you should, you're going to try and stay at a hotel. And you may or may not have electricity. It might be the generator doing it, but the generator may not operate the air conditioning system. It might only operate fans. And so you're in this dilemma where do I commit $4,250 each for the base fare of this cruise in the base, the cheapest price, that's the cheapest priced balcony, to get this free airfare deal? Or even if I commit $3,000, $2,500, $3,000 for each of us on a vacations2go.com deal on this cruise, do we commit $5,000, then buy our own airfare and a hotel before and or after the cruise, to maybe not make it? Like, to me, it's too risky. Because I know that I can get a cruise out of Miami. I can get a cruise out of Fort Lauderdale. I can get a cruise out of Port Canaveral. I can get a cruise out of Tampa. And the likelihood of all four ports, or any one of those four ports, really getting shut down has to be exactly the same as last year when Florida took a direct hit, or close to a direct hit, with the hurricanes that it got. It took a lot to knock Florida off of its perch for a while. And it only lasted in Miami for, 4 days, 6 days? And then the port was reopened. After a week, the airport was back and up and running, full schedule within 2 weeks. Whereas San Juan, we heard about the nightmare month after month after month after month. And even today, still, heartbreaking stories. Don't know if you folks caught it, but New York Times today, had a story of an elderly couple. Actually, I have to admit, I didn't think they were that old. The husband is 55. The wife is around the same age, and they're in terrible shape health-wise. I feel so sorry for them. It's too bad. He has terrible mobility issues, and he's had a couple of strokes already. The wife is suffering from Alzheimer's, which is heartbreaking. And they got evacuated. The family got them out of Puerto Rico from a small village and got them to New York. And they've been in New York in a hotel for 7 months, praying for the day they could go back to Puerto Rico, because their attitude is, I'd rather die in Puerto Rico than live in a hotel room in New York and die here, because I'm going to die anyway, or we're in such bad shape. The family finally gave in to the parents' pleas, and they flew him back. And there were relatives and friends to pick him up there, and they've come back to their house in Puerto Rico 7 months later, and they have a spotty water service. Remember that dam that was collapsing during the hurricane? That dam is under repair by engineers, and they've drained a lot of the water out of there. And regular water supplies to the residents in here have been cut back. They're on water rations. 7 months later, they're still on rationed water, and the electricity comes and goes because it's not reliable. And these poor folks, they're having all kinds of medical issues there, but they're home. And I think if they've resigned themselves to passing away in Puerto Rico the way they wanted to in the first place. But at age 55, these folks look like they're in their 80s. It's just heartbreaking to see it. I really am shocked at that. But it's just, another sad story out of what, 3.4 million stories out of Puerto Rico. Why cruise ships are bucking the odds using San Juan right now for a port, I don't know, except maybe the dollars. Maybe it's so cheap that San Juan has cut such a deal to these cruise lines, they can't resist it. But for the passengers, I think you're gambling. You're just taking a chance that you may or may not get this cruise done. I don't know. Anyway, so free flight with Viking, but the price of the cruise is not a bargain. So I just go, why would I do that? I'll take a Viking ocean cruise out of Florida. I'll pay the $3,500 fare and find my own way in and out. I can fly Southwest into Fort Lauderdale at a fraction of the price, and I know I'm going to make it. I know I'm going to get in and out of there because there's a flight every hour with Southwest to wherever I got to go, and I can do the connection game if I have to. That's the way I would look at it. But anyway, those are just one man's observations from Creston, British Columbia. Charles Jordan, can you imagine a ship that small getting caught in a storm at sea, 700 feet? Well, yeah, it could happen, but I can tell you that, these ships can run 30 knots, and they're not going to get into that stuff. I think the Ritz-Carlton people, with the clientele on board, it's likely that very few of them have to be at the office Monday morning. If it's a Friday afternoon and there's going to be a 5-day delay because of hurricane, the ship will just go out in the open ocean and avoid all that nonsense. Thank you very much. And I don't think the clientele will have any problems because I think they are the boss. I don't think we're talking about the secretary who's going to get fired for not being back on time. I think it's the boss. The boss will be fine. So I don't see that ship getting caught in anything that silly. But you never know. Richard Kormaski, hey, Bruce, back from the bar. Happy holidays to you and everyone. Thanks, Richard. I would never cruise out of San Juan. Not safe. There you go. There's another issue there. I read something else today I'll tell you about. Jamaica. The Prime Minister of Jamaica extended the state of emergency of the country. Did you know that Jamaica is under a state of emergency and has been for quite some time? They have curfews. The army is out. The entire island it's been extended again. And so any of you folks out there ever wonder, why is it that we can't find a cruise where it just pulls into Kingston, like the capital city of Jamaica? How come Royal Caribbean doesn't stop in Kingston, Jamaica, and we have all these tours? There's got to be a lot of history in Jamaica. Well, there is a lot of history in Jamaica. There's tons of it. There's history in Cuba. There's history in Jamaica. There's all kinds of tours on Caribbean islands all around Jamaica. But for some reason, you can't take very many tours for certain in the capital city. You can't even go to Montego Bay and hang out there. Why is that? I'll tell you why. There are gangs everywhere, and it's a bad situation. It's rough, and the government cannot guarantee the safety of foreign nationals in Jamaica. And it could be as simple as a pickpocket scenario, or as bad as a holdup scenario where an entire bus will get pulled over and commandeered, or worse yet, full-blown kidnappings of Westerners. Someone with a U.S. passport, golden ticket, snatch you and take you away and hold you for ransom. It's just unbelievable. Jamaica is in rough shape. Now, they had a record year this year for tourism, a record year, because resorts along the certain coasts of Jamaica have armed security guards to keep bad people away, or they're paying off extortion under the table. I don't know how they're doing it. And then, of course, there's Ocho Rios for cruise ships, and there are private resorts for cruise ships. But for the general public, you're not going to run into the average Jamaican on the island at all, unless you break the rules of the cruise line and duck out. You'd be crazy to do it. You'd be just insane to do it. So many desperate people in Jamaica, terribly desperate. And so the state of emergency has been extended yet again. Isn't that amazing? Just unbelievable. It's Desi Wagner, because Kingston has been awful for a long time. Peter Heckema, do you have access to Allegiant Air from just across the U.S. border from you? They usually fly from border points instead of coming into Canada to avoid Canadian airport fees. Good airline and reasonable. I don't think so. I don't think they fly into Spokane. That's my closest airport, just so you know, folks. Spokane, Washington, 2 hours, 20 minutes or so from here. I could be at the airport 2 hours, 35 minutes. Southwest is in there. United, American. I'm not sure about Delta. And a lot of trips. If I was taking an extra long journey, I would do a little hop from Spokane to Seattle, 45 minutes, and then from Seattle to where I have to go. So if I were flying to Miami, I've got two choices to use out of Spokane. I can take Southwest and head over to like either Denver or Chicago, and then from there, Miami. Or I can take American Airlines from Spokane and probably to Denver or maybe Dallas and then over. Or I can take a United, which would take me to Chicago, and then from there, certainly to Miami or Fort Lauderdale, of course. Same thing for New York. It's a skip and a jump. There are no direct flights New York to Spokane that I'm aware of. Maybe there's one, but I'm not exactly sure. But usually the cheapest flights are the hop, skip, and a jump. My other option, of course, is I drive from here to family in Calgary, and then I take the Calgary International Airport where I have to go. But if I want to go to Miami, I got to fly to Chicago or Denver or Salt Lake City, and then connect over, or take American Airlines to Dallas, from Calgary, Dallas to Miami. But it's more expensive, so I'm better off driving the car across the border, go to Spokane, guys over there, and I can park the car for free at a hotel. If I spend the night before a flight, I can leave the car there for the whole time I'm gone, no charge. It's a locked parkade with security. What a deal! What a deal! I had my mother do that all the time when I lived in the desert in Palm Desert, California. Richard Kormaski is saying, Princess canceled our stop in Jamaica on the Panama Canal cruise, February the 28th. There you go. There you go. It's a sad story. It really is. It's an island of 4 million people. 3.9 some odd million are wonderful people. They're just great. But there's so much misery down there, that there are a lot of desperate people, and you're just not safe. And the other story is Haiti, another desperate scenario. You got an island that's half Haiti, half Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic is doing okay. Haiti is in this dire straits, and the world has been pouring in billions of aid into Haiti to help it. Can't get it off the ground. Just can't get it off the ground. And Haitians are just in a miserable state. They've cut down virtually all trees that can be used for firewood. They've cut them down for firewood. For heat to cook. It's unbelievable. It's just third world, so third world, and yet 150 miles from the United States. the richest country on the planet. Americans love to vacation in that area. We Canadians too. We love to go down there. We spend our hard-earned money down there in areas. Labadee gets cash, but it's a private island for Royal Caribbean and Celebrity. It's their little turf, and there are Haitians employed there. Haitians do benefit economically to a degree, but there are no resort hotels down there that you would go to. No way to guarantee your safety. Wouldn't be done. No one would build a $500 million resort in Haiti or in certain spots in Jamaica. Wouldn't invest it. You can't get it built for the price it should be built at. Too many bribes to pay off. Then you got to pay protection to keep your property safe while it's being built. Then you got to pay bribes and protection to get it licensed. Then you got to pay bribes and protection to keep it standing and keep the tourists from getting injured. And only one guy has to renege on his deal to blow the whole thing out of the water. Why would anyone risk that kind of cash and that kind of liability? Not a chance. Not a chance. So that's why these islands, so many of these islands are third worlders, yet they're surrounded by, or so close to wealth, unthinkable wealth. Can't take advantage of it. They got everything going for them. Beaches, turquoise waters, warm temperatures. Can't cash in. Peter Heckema, WestJet flies into Tampa direct. There you go, WestJet out of Canada. Yeah, I think Peter also, WestJet does also do flights to Fort Lauderdale from Toronto for sure. I'm not sure about Miami International. I wouldn't be surprised. I know that I've flown Air Canada and I've flown other airlines to Toronto from Miami as well. Peter Heckema from Calgary. Oh, from Calgary. Yeah, in the wintertime. And some of those are some of those direct flights, Peter, are kind of quasi charter flights, and then others are scheduled. It's kind of quirky, but yeah, there is direct flight service during winter months from Calgary direct. I would just be just as happy to pop down to Spokane here, grab a flight to Seattle, and have a direct nonstop to Tampa or Miami or Fort Lauderdale from Seattle and back. That'd be just fine by me. Almost 5 hours diagonally across the whole country to make it. That would be just fine. I wouldn't mind that a bit. And get to my ship, get to the port the day before, and then get on the ship the next day. That's the way to do it every time. Folks, I think I'm going to pack it in for today's show. I hope people have learned something today. Some of the newbies out there, thanks you for everybody who gave me thumbs ups today. Looks like we've had 32 of them so far. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all the commentary today and reaction to some of the stories. Tomorrow, 2 o'clock, I'm on the air. I think tomorrow we're going to do some trivia. I don't think there'll be too much news coming out of the cruise industry unless something crazy breaks. So I'll be on it, but I think I'm going to set the show up for a bit of trivia tomorrow, put you guys to work. I'm thinking about different kinds of trivia for you guys, and I'm going to see what we can hit you up with. So I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope you've had a good time with it, and thanks for all the views. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for all the subscribers, folks out there who are subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. Let's see what the count is now. 1,502. We're still pushing 1,502. I appreciate that. And all the views. We're going to hit 200,000 views, I think, tonight or tomorrow. And the channel continues to grow. Thanks for everybody. So I'll be on tomorrow. And after tomorrow's show, in the car, I'm off to Costco. I got to get some provisions to last out the last of whatever winter is left and the beginning of spring. So thanks for seeing me, folks. Cam Wilson saying goodbye. Debbie Emanuel, great show. Have a great night. See you in the morning. Toodles all. Richard Karnamaski saying take care. Cam Wilson, see you guys later. Thanks to everybody who was here today. Peter Heckema and Desi was here today. Who else was here? Silo was here today. Iskew was here today. Tammy Ray was here today. Thanks, Tammy. Nina Frank from Sweden. Thank you again for joining. Iskew, there you are. Michelle Lucas, have a great trip, Michelle. I look forward to your updates. Should be fantastic. Dylan, you have a good one, pal, down in Henderson, Nevada. You take care, buddy. Good to have you by. Let's see. Wendy was here. Sylvia was here. Teresa was here today. John, the newbie, 462-0005. Welcome. Thanks for having me stop by today. Great to have you. Come by again. Seakeeper, buddy, you take care down there. Good to have you. And everybody else. So I'm going to say my goodbye. See you, Stargazer. Take care, everybody. Have a good night. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This is Bruce with Traveling with Bruce saying take care for now. See you tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody.